What's up, people? How y'all doing? This Uncle Dallas. It's me. I'm here with the Higher Talk Chronicles. Today we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some things, kind of get some things going on, help you guys move to another level. Got my video, my videos, got my sound, got everything ready. I'm ready to hear what you have to say. Let me make sure I got sound. Yep, make sure I got sound. Make sure everything's okay. Make sure we people are here. I'm slightly excited about today. I am. We went to this nice restaurant last night. My wife and I went to this nice restaurant last night. It was amazing. Now, there are private clubs. Let me make sure I got my clothes on. There are private clubs all around the world. And while I was watching this private club, we're up in this, I think the 20th floor of this thing, I learned something, and that's something that will help us in our business and help us in our lives. So today we're going to talk about what are you leaving on the table? And this is back to the fear. Fear is our subject today. What are you leaving on the table? And we're going to talk about that today, and hopefully help you get to the next level, because timing is a thing. Timing is really a thing, and it has messed up a lot of us. So today on the Higher Standards Chronicles, and pray for my voice. The Higher Standards Chronicles, we're going to talk about how timing is important. Hi guys, this is Uncle Dallas. Today I want to talk about a very interesting subject, and that's timing. But I want to talk about it in pertaining to fear. Timing came into fear. And there's another part of that I want to take into consideration. I was looking at those people that are trying to get on. I am on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Another aspect of that. And the other aspect is, who do you trust? Now, what we have to realize is the system that we're a part of. That system is set up according to a structure. Now, every structure has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. It has a top, it has a middle, it has a bottom. It has a left, it has a middle, and a right. Now, I don't know if I've taught you guys the cross system. The reason that the cross is important, because there's another aspect that nobody's teaching you about the cross, because they want to teach you about the fact of, Jesus did this and how Jesus did this and what happened when it comes to Jesus. So anyway, the aspect of the cross that many people don't actually discuss is the bilateral connections that you should have. Yep, that sounded deep, didn't it? It sounded like Mr. Dallas knew something deep. Now, within these bilateral connections you have, okay, hold on for a second. Within these bilateral connections you have to understand something. In order to be effective, you have to be able to be on two different levels. You follow me? You have to be effective at two different levels. And those two different levels are the bilateral levels. Now, we got that. Yeah, we got that. You have to be connected at the bilateral levels. So what is the bilateral level? There's a level that you have between your left and right. You remember on the little cartoons where they had the one angel on this side and another angel on this side, and they're telling you in the middle. And then there's the connection you have between heaven and earth. And heaven can be the sky and earth. And what happens is you have to live this spiritual balance between the two that kind of holds you balanced. It's kind of like gravity in multi-level directions. The key that you have to understand is the center of your world is you. You are the center of your world. You are the movement of your world. When I show you this diagram right here, you are the center of this diagram. You are the part of that diagram that makes it work. And I can shift that diagram, I can shift this diagram to the side. And when I shift it to the side, the diagram would show you still being the middle of it instead of being the outside. Most of us think that our mind is the top of the totem pole, but it actually is not. Our mind is actually the processor for all these things. So when you are operating in your life, you have to give your mind the ability to be open to what's going on and what's available to you. So I say that when I say, what do you leave on the table? A lot of you, especially we that have been hurt by something or somebody, a lot of us leave things on the table. Now, what do I mean by that? I have my friend Will, and there's Will, there's Nathan, there's Herb, there are a number of people. There's Don, there's Andrea Moki, there's Nicole Palmer. I can go down the list, and these people all, at a certain extent, pour into my life. And why do they pour into my life? In their areas, they're able to move at a different position, and they know their area. They know their area. And because they know their area, I don't have to do certain things when it comes to the area. For example, when I needed to edit my book, I keep showing you guys my book. When I was editing the book, or when editing the new book, there's another book coming out. When the teachings come out, I talk to Nicole. When I'm ready to do investment or do investment at a different level, I talk to either Will or Nathan or Herb. Each of those things give me an opportunity to broaden myself at a level where I don't leave stuff on the table. How many of you are really trying to actually be millionaires? How many of you are actually trying to be wealthy? And so what happens is you have to realize you're going to have to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's sometimes uncomfortable for somebody to tell you, no, that's not right. You need to do it a different way. But the ego that we have, and what that ego actually is a form of fear. It's a form of, I don't want to feel like I'm not smart or I'm not anything, or I don't want to feel like this person knows more than I do. But see, every other culture, the cultures that are very wealthy, you know what wealthy people do? You know what people really do? There are three things they connect. And I want y'all to hear this. This is going to sound really crazy. You can tell. You can tell a person is wealthy. There are three things they connect. They connect in. They connect in information, then they connect in money, and they connect in atmosphere. They connect in information, money, and atmosphere. The people around you, do you connect in those areas? The information that I have, I share with you. But do you share with the information of people around you? Now, let me take that a step further. Y'all ready? Can they handle the information that you're sharing? Can the people handle the fact that your information is on a level that could take them to a place they've never been before? Because one of the situations that we find ourselves in is we think that we know enough to get to where we really want to get to. And we've been in the same place for 5 years. We've been in the same place for 5 years. Hold on for a second, guys. We've been in the same place for 5 years. Every year, we think that we know something, or we think we believe something, and the fear has kept us right. The fear has kept us stuck in a place where we believe that if we just wait one more minute, if we just wait one more second, if we just let it stay one more second, we'll meet it. We'll see it. Now, I'm going to show you something about this diagram. I'm going to show you something. Now, everybody, those of you that are on Instagram, those of you that are on Instagram, you can't see the diagram. So if you come on YouTube, you see the diagram. Whoa. I just blacked myself out. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Those of you on Instagram, you see this diagram. Now, see this diagram right here. This is the diagram that allows you to see everything that needs to happen in your life. If you address every part of your mind, every part of your spirit, every part of your mind, every part of your body, and you address it that way, and you let them interchange like this, what you'll see is a change in your life. What happens right now to most of us, and what's going on right now, is we are now being put in a position where we are purging. This is a purging time. My wife was talking to me yesterday, and she said, what's the season? I said, this is a season of purge. Now, you're not purging people. You're purging the spirits that move you. This is a lot of the church people I deal with don't follow me on my social media. And the reason they don't follow me on my social media is because I realized what happened when COVID took place. I realized what happened in COVID. Everybody I've talked to realize that something happened, but they don't know what really happened. Now, if you follow my videos, if you follow me for any period of time, you will know that when before COVID, I made a statement on my YouTube, my Facebook, you follow my Facebook, and I said, church as we know it is about to change. And what I said to you is Benny Hinn was the person and the catalyst that spoke change. Benny Hinn was the catalyst that brought change. Now, if someone can get me in touch with Benny Hinn, I would like to thank him for that. Benny Hinn is the catalyst that brought change. The challenge that happened with that, when it changed, God purged you from obligations to religion and gave you an opportunity to live spiritually. All right. Y'all can follow me. Stick with me, kid. You'll learn a lot. So what happens was, you don't know that as much as COVID has been played and much as COVID was a plan. COVID was planned. It was not planned by just man. God has a way to take what was planned by man and let it be a benefit to those that are spiritual. It is amazing to me that all the money people made during COVID, talking about leaving money on the table, all the money people made during COVID was amazing to me. Why? Because what you have to realize is tragedy is only tragedy to people that see tragedy. You follow me? Tragedy is only tragic to people that see that are how do I say this? People that are people that are attentive to tragedy. There's a passage in the Bible that says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think everything is tragedy, everything is coming to get you, the Bible says, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, and you keep taking tragedy in and keep taking tragedy in. I just feel like a whole nother level today. And you keep taking tragedy in, that's all you see is tragedy. But to people that walk in wealth, they see opportunity. So the moment that COVID hit, opportunity hit, and there was a wealth transfer like no other that hasn't stopped yet. No other wealth transfer that has ever come to this planet. And you know what everybody did? All the poor people start grabbing their stuff. You're not gonna get me. You ain't. I'm out of here, dog. They should have never let me see this. I am gone. I'll see y'all later. You know what the wealthy did? The wealthy began to look around and go, what opportunities are presented by this perceived tragedy? What opportunities are presented by this perceived tragedy? And so when you begin to see that, you begin to understand that it was never about that tragedy, it was about the change. See, a lot of you are right now going, why don't I see my wealth? You've been making New Year's resolutions. You've been doing all these different things and nothing has changed. You know why nothing has changed? It's because you based your movement, your growth, your change on tragedy. You're afraid. You are afraid. And you know what's so funny? You're afraid of something that happened to you in your past, and you're trying to assign that parasite. Y'all remember what fear is? Fear is a parasite. You're trying to assign that parasite to people that are around you. And you get upset because they don't want the parasite. They don't want the parasite because you want them to be afraid. They share money, they share information, and they share atmosphere. You want to understand wealth. You want to understand wealth. I understood. And listen, I'm just really getting to the understanding of wealth. This brother took us to the 20th floor and fed us dinner on the 20th floor of a high rise. We're looking over the building. Wealth realizes that this is all a game. It's all a game, guys. And your job is to learn to play that game well. It's all a game. The reason I do this on YouTube and I keep Instagram up is because YouTube gives you the opportunity to look at this over and over and over again. How many of you really watch it over and over again and go, I tell you to write stuff down. Where's my write down pads? They must be in the living room because we were doing sport. I tell you to get pads and write stuff down. I am inviting you to another level of wealth. I'm inviting you to this another level. And how many of you are taking it seriously? You know why? Because fear has got you in a procrastination mode and you're just sitting there. You're looking at me going, how can I trust them? Can I not trust them? Let me help you out with something, people. Let me help you out. Let me tell you the trick that they've played on you. You know the trick they played on you? Let me tell you the trick they played on you. What they played on you is a trick that is so divine, so underhanded, and so slick that it is funny. So here's what they do. Here's the system. We know, and I'm saying myself, we that have had money and that have money or have wealth, we understand something. We understand that the masses are moved by fear. And what they do is, in order to get the parasite of fear, you have to ingest parasite. Hear me? You have to ingest the parasite. I'm on YouTube right now. I want you to ask yourself this question. Now follow me. I told you, I just went to another level. I felt my brain shift. So I'm going to tell you something. The parasite of fear has to be ingested. So you have to digest the idea that was offered to you by fear. You have to digest it. If you don't digest it, it doesn't affect you. So here is the deal. God spoke to me about 4 days ago. He said, take some people to the next level. Now, why did he say that to me? He said that to me because I've been treating people like friends, trying to get my friends to go and saying, instead of going, here, if you want to have money, if you want to have peace, if you want to have life, you have to do this. Follow me. So here's the deal. Because I don't do that, I don't do it because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm taking responsibility or trying to tell them what to do. However, everybody I've told has gone to another level. So here's the deal. Follow me here. How many of you have people around you that are dealing the parasite of fear? Dealing it like cards. Like I got a spade and I got a, hold on. Baby. You don't know nothing about that ace. Y'all don't play spades, y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of you are dealing that parasite? Just telling people what to be afraid of. But here's the funny thing. How many of you have actually, and I'm going to use me for example, how many of you have actually taken your friends that you know are dealing with fear and say, hey, go to YouTube, to youtube.com/higher talk, and you need to watch that video. You need to watch this video. All the videos that on how to get your power back, the power of fear, you need to watch those videos. Or have you tried to advise them because you want to be valuable and you want to feel like you know? Remember I told you wealth. You want to feel like you know, so you start giving them advice on the thing. I'll never forget this all the days of my life. I had a friend of mine that now my wife and I wrote books on relationships, my relationships. And so they were doing something, going through their relationship. Now, this young lady had not only been divorced, she couldn't find a good man to save her life. So her girlfriend goes to her and says, hey, I'm having a problem with my relationship. The girl goes, girl, let me tell you. And my wife and I sitting there watching it. And listen, where's my book? This is what we do. She knows that because she comes to us. Let me tell you what to do. And my wife and I just cracking up. She goes, this woman can't hold on to a relationship. How's she going to tell her what to do? And guess what? The girl listened because she dealt parasite. How many of you are actually taking this information and using it to grow? Now, here's what they've done so dastardly. What they've done to you is they have set up opportunities for the next level. And the moment you look at that next level, hear me guys, I'm trying to keep this with the time. The moment you look at that next level, they have to now emotionally detach you from that person that's taking you to the next level. Let me share how this is done. Because fear is a parasite. You share fear person to person. They share fear all over the world. Example. How many of you know that Michael Jackson owned, I think, 51% of Sony music production? Anytime you own 51% of something, you own the determining rights of that thing, which means that anything that came through Sony Entertainment, Michael Jackson got 51% of it, which means he really owned Sony Entertainment. So in order to get you from going, wow, I can own Sony, maybe I need to figure out how Michael Jackson did it, they've got to give you a parasite. So what they do is they go, hey, Michael Jackson is a child molester. And so what happens is you're so caught up in whether Michael Jackson is a child molester or not that you never figure out how Michael Jackson made $3 billion and was one of the first artists to do $3 billion given to him by Sony, who in turn took and bought shares of Sony stock. Bill Cosby wanted to buy a major television station. And all of a sudden, now Bill Cosby is drugging women so that he can have sex with them. You're so busy trying to determine whether Bill Cosby did it or not, you don't want to know how Bill Cosby got to be a billionaire and why they kept putting him on television in these different shows. They dealt you a parasite. And when they dealt you a parasite, hear me, people. I need y'all to hear me because I'm showing you some stuff that's going to really help you if you hear me. When they dealt you a parasite, they dealt you a parasite not because you should be afraid, but because they don't want you to have information. Information, money, and atmosphere. So if they interrupt the atmosphere, you never get the information. What nobody did, none of you did, neither did William Dallas. We never said, I don't give a flip-flop what Michael Jackson did. That's Michael Jackson's personal life. Like William Dallas has a personal life. You have a personal life. Now, if Michael Jackson did it, fine. That's between Michael Jackson and those children. If Michael Jackson didn't do it, it's between Michael Jackson and his attorney. But how did Michael Jackson get to build Neverland? How did he take the music industry to the next level? How did he do those things? You talk about Joe Jackson, his father. All they have to do for you, baby, is shift your emotion and make you afraid. That's what's happening with me. That's why y'all looking at me. That's why you haven't taken thousands of people say, dude, this man is not. I get people call me all the time. I promise you. Some of the people are on here. Some of the people on here, they're going, man, you are so, how do you know the Spirit of God at this level? People have called me and said, I can give you names. And said, dude, where does this come from? Where does this come from? People have sat down with me, okay, I'm ready to go to the next level. But you, and listen, I'm speaking to me as well as I'm speaking to you. I never trusted people. I did a business, my company did well. Once I did my company, I went to the next level. And when I went to the next level, I met a young man and I realized that I needed to let him help me get to the next level. You're leaving money on the table. You're leaving life on the table. You're leaving the spirit on the table. Why? Because someone has dealt you a parasite. I have no ill toward anybody in this entire world. I love everybody. People that have tried to hurt me, kill me, do whatever they needed to do. If they pulled up on the side of the road and they needed to change the tire, I legitimately, in all honesty, would help them. Why? Because I learned how to deal with information. I learned how to deal with fear. I learned how to deal with unforgiveness. And I learned how to deal with forgiveness. There's a line in The Matrix. And in the line in The Matrix, he said, It's not real, Neo. It's not real. What you're dealing with right now, you have three purposes. First purpose is to prosper. Second purpose is to be in health. And the third purpose is to get information. What are the three things I told you the wealthy people do? They share information, they share money, and they share atmosphere. Now, they don't share money like you share money. They share information, they share money, and they share atmosphere. They don't just share it saying, here's Bill, $50,000. So let me tell you, peep this. There's a cryptocurrency. What time is it? We're doing good. Okay. I'm going to get this done in 30 minutes. I'll finish it on Monday. There's a cryptocurrency. Let's say it starts at 15 cents. Okay. And it starts at 15 cents. And you find out this cryptocurrency starts at 15 cents, and you know your best friend needs some money. So you call him and say, hey man, buy this cryptocurrency. It could be the pig coin. Buy the pig coin. He says, okay, so he buys the pig coin. Pig coin. So how many shares did you buy? So I only can buy $1,000. So he goes, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $10,000 to buy pig coin. Okay. Once you buy pig coin and pig coin goes up to $1 million, I want my $10,000 back. He has just taken the opportunity to take care of his friend and to make some money on the top of that. But he really doesn't want the money back. He just wants the friend to grow. That's wealth. So hey, inside scoops, thus wealth. But see, your key, the thing that's leaving you on the table, is you don't know, because spiritually you've been religionized. You don't know when an opportunity is presented to you to take you to the next level. You've been missing it for years. Years and years and years you've been missing it. I've been missing it for years. And you know why I've been missing it? Because I wouldn't get past myself and let my spirit have free reign. I wouldn't let my spirit have free reign. Why wouldn't I let my spirit have free reign? Because I wanted to be right. I wanted to be smart. I wanted to be the go-to person. When I'm not the go-to person. I have access to the go-to person, but I'm not the go-to person. You are being mesmerized into fear. Is Beyonce a witch? Is there Illuminati? What's coming on the planet? All they have to do is keep you constantly attached to that parasite, and it grows more and more and more and more and more. Telling you that. Did you know by capita there are more whites killed by police than there are blacks? Yeah, I know. They don't tell you that. Why? Because they got to keep the black people afraid. Why? Because the majority of black people are caught in a religious parasite of fear, a social parasite of fear, and a financial parasite of fear. Religious, social, financial. You're stuck in it. You're working from day to day. And the reason you're working from day to day is because no one has ever told you that you're free. You never left slavery. What you did is shifted from one master to another. And the master right now that controlled you is the same master that controlled you during slavery. And it's fear. Look up the I can't think of the Lynch law. I can't think of the name of the book. Look at, all they did is just shift it. They said all you have to do is keep them scared. You keep them scared, they will do exactly what you tell them to do. Girl, you better save you some money. Girl, you better put you some away. Girl, don't leave that job because they got benefits. Girl, can I tell you something? And I'm going to get off this phone. I'm going to get off the line. Let me tell you something. The biggest way to control, here's how you control a community. First, you dilute the power of the head. So you dilute the power of the head. Second, you shift the focus of the body. Dilute the power of the head, shift the focus of the body. So you dilute the power of the head. Do you know that there's more women that want to be in relationships with men than there are women that don't want to be in relationships with men? But I got to keep pushing the women that don't want relationships with men so that the women that do want relationships with men feel uncomfortable. There are more men that stay married. Marriage is bigger now than it's ever been before in the black community. But I got to keep showing you white and black people together and start showing you that black people as a culture can't stick together. And so when I show you that, I give you the parasite. I ain't getting married. I have a friend right now. I don't know if she's on one of these things. Willie Lynch law. That's it. Willie Lynch. I got a friend right now that did not want to get married, and then right around now in her life, she realized, I want to get married. Because she never saw this stuff. You are under a game. It's a game. Your church, under the game. Your job, under the game. The people around you, under the game. I'm sitting here going, come out from among them, guys. Get away from this thing. I'm giving you information. I put it on YouTube for you, not for me. I have to get out of my bed with my lovely, warm, cuddly wife every morning to share information. And I don't get paid for this. Have y'all thought about that? I don't get paid for this. The reason I do it is because I realize you need to be, call me the spiritual Harriet Tubman. I need a hat. Call me the spiritual Harriet Tubman. Because you have to be free. And if you don't understand the desire to be free and how to get free, you'll never be free. You will live a life trying to be rich when you're already rich. You'll live a life thinking that you're poor when all poor is the mindset that you live under. I'm going to keep going on this subject, but I have to go. I have to go because I got to keep this within 30 minutes because I'll get to talking for an hour. And I want you to watch. Our attention spans are not that strong. So I know if I do this for more than an hour, some of you won't watch it. Point this video to somebody. Tell them to subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Now, everybody, point this video to somebody. When you begin to really pray, meditate, and break down what I'm saying, you'll get free. The Bible says, he that has an ear, let him hear. You can't hear me right now. That parasite has you so tough, has you so inundated that it's hard to hear what I'm saying right now. It's hard to hear the fact that what you're dealing with right now is not the fact that you win or lose. It's the fact that you stop moving. I want you, my football fans, I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine that a football player grabs a football and he begins to run down the field. You follow me? And they grab him and they stop him from moving, but they never bring him down. He's still on 2 feet. And instead of him keep on pushing, he goes, well, they got me. And he throws the football down and he goes to the sideline. You're not stopped until they bring you down, until you die. But if they get you to not move long enough, you'll think that you've stopped moving. All they have to do, all that parasite has to do is get you to feel like you haven't moved, and because you're not moving, you must be dead. Because you haven't moved, you must have failed. And if it gets you to believe it long enough, you will retract back into all your old fears, because that's all the parasite does, is remind you of all your old fears. And what you'll end up doing is end up being exactly what the parasite wants you to be, stuck right here and never going over there. If you're afraid of swimming, learn how to swim. If you're afraid of dogs, figure out what dogs, how to not be afraid of dogs. Start attaching the parasites. Start bringing the game to him instead of letting him bring the game to you. Stop wondering, stop thinking for people. I love you people that try to put a foregone conclusion in place. Try to figure out, well, I know what he's going to say. You don't know what no one's going to say. And when you are right, all that did was cause you to be more fearful. Stop wondering what people are going to say and ask. Just ask. What's the worst thing they could do? Exactly what you said. Well, I just don't feel like. Your feelings shouldn't have anything to do with it. Your feelings should have nothing to do with it. But we have these parasites that we need to be purged from. We need to be purged from the parasites. When we learn to get purged from the parasites, we'll see wealth like we've never seen wealth before. We'll see friendship. We'll see all these things begin to flow when we learn to purge the parasites. Some of you are carrying the parasites right now. right this very minute. And my heart goes out to you. And my spirit is reaching out to you so that you can feel that you can be free. You can be free. I had a young lady call me and she goes, I really want to come to your retreat. I said, okay. She said, but I'm so afraid of going by myself. Wow. That's the only reason she's not going to the retreat. Now, I don't know. I think she's still going after because we talked about it. But that's it. What is that thing? What is that thing the parasite is causing you to do, to be a part of, that's stopping you from moving to the next level? And I'm going to tell you some places that are uncomfortable. Okay, number one, everybody in here that's stuck in money needs to go figure out how to release some money. That's why I used to do Cash Out Wednesdays. You got to learn to release some money wanting nothing in return. Why? Because that money is not money. It is not currency. It's a system. And when you learn to move the system, some of you need to do that. Some of you need to go talk to people that you just didn't. I just don't want to talk to my baby dad. I just don't want to talk to my baby mama. Some of you need to talk not with a purpose in mind. You just need to talk. Some of you need to figure out, go sit in the swimming pool, go under the water, figure out what it is, and go to 4 feet, put your head under the water, and figure out what that thing is all about. Some of you need to say, I'm sorry, to somebody that you know going to probably looking at you and say, I know you're sorry. You should have never said nothing to me. And realize that they haven't done anything. They're stuck in the parasite. Some of you need to start trusting God in your life. And some of you, a lot of you, need to get out of religion. A lot of you need to let go of the fact, I got to go talk to my bishop, I got to go talk to my pastor, because one of the strongest parasites that you'll ever deal with is religion, because it touches your mind and it touches your body, which dilutes what happens through your spirit, and then it controls what comes out of your spirit. Just a little something to help you with. Some of you need to go give something away. Just give it away. Turn around and forget about it. Realize all the emotions that went behind it and just forget about it. Some of you just need to, matter of fact, you need to look on this list and say, listen, I'm going to give you this. Here it is. I'm going to give you this, want nothing in return. Pretend like it's a restaurant. Pretend like you took that $100 and you went to a restaurant and spent it, and now you don't have it anymore. You've got to break these bounds, because these parasites are sucking the life out of you and living the life that you want to live. I think that's my bell. There are people that have come in my life and they actually thought I had some type of ulterior motive. So they would talk about me and talk about what I did behind my back. And guys, I didn't care. I don't care. My job is not to follow the people that don't want to follow me. My job is to give the information to the people that do. That's my job. That's your job. Your job is not for everybody to like you. There used to be a thing back in the day that said, my haters become my motivators. My job is not for everybody to like me. My job is for me to give you the truth. It is the truth. It has no ulterior motive. Now, it doesn't mean that I won't have classes and books and all that kind of stuff. But right now I'm giving you information. I finally got YouTube the way I got it. You ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. This is just my system here, my computer here, my system here. This is just my way of broadcasting. But I'm going to bring people in. I'm going after Benny Hinn. I'm going to find Benny Hinn. Because Benny Hinn probably has no idea that he is the one that spoke the life to this system when it comes to religion. Probably has no idea. Why? Because he hasn't met the best brother in the world, me. All right, guys, I love you very much. I appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure you share. Everybody that comes on here, go share this video with one person. I don't care who it is, just share. Everybody needs it. Share, subscribe, and leave comments. Share, subscribe, and leave comments. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can be a part of us starting on Tuesday. Every Monday is all Instagram. Monday is purely Instagram. Tuesday through Friday is YouTube. So Monday, I will be on Instagram. You know what? No. I will be here Monday as well. There's information that needs to be out, and that information needs to be out. So make sure you share this with anybody that you know and say, listen, you got to get away from fear. Tell them, you got to get away from fear. Right now, I think we got like 100 followers. Let's see if we can take this to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We're in July now. Welcome to July. Happy 4th of July for those of you that will go this weekend. Let's see if we can take this to 1,000 subscribers. Not for me, because 1,000 people need help. Really, 100,000 people need help. I'm going to start pushing and doing some advertising so that people will come and hear it, because I believe it's time. It's time. I'm working on a book right now called The 5 Things That the Church Never Told You About Money. And that book will be out probably by the end of this month, if not the end of next month. And it's the 5 things that, but one of them is fear. They haven't told you to fear about. So the 5 things that, those of you that have come a part of us, thank you very much. Those of you that are part of the retreat, oh my God, thank you very much. We will talk on Monday. We will talk on Monday. So I'm William Dallas. This is the Higher Standards Chronicles. I appreciate you with all my heart. I thank God for you. Please believe me, I'm praying that your life turns into a better place. And the one thing I want you to understand is that when you are living your life, please, please, please desire to live that life at a higher standard. I love you guys. Peace.